I have made a lot of mistakes on the vegan diet, and I want to share the 7 biggest mistakes I have made so you can see what not to do. Roll the titles.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As always, just a quick reminder that I'm now offering the SIBO organic acid stool test and consult via my website. So if you have any health or digestive problems, then consider taking these tests, as they will provide a lot of very detailed information upon which you can start making informed decisions and then start getting your health back on track. And on that bombshell, to the video. So mistake number 1, I didn't use my eyes enough. And let me just explain what I mean by that. So when I first went vegan, and even for a while after, I was captivated by plant-based doctors and health experts online and everything that they were saying. It was all, this fruit is better than that one, and you need to eat this food in a 2-to-1 ratio with this food to avoid heart disease, cancer and diabetes. I would watch so much content and read so many different books, but very quickly I realised the error in my ways. If you want to become a millionaire, then you would generally speak to a millionaire about how they made their money. You wouldn't take financial advice from a bankrupt. You can certainly learn lessons from bankrupts around what not to do, but you wouldn't directly take their advice. And this analogy is my North Star where health and nutrition is concerned. I keep one eye on the science for sure, but this has many different limitations. I also now and again watch plant-based doctors and other academics, but I am far more concerned about getting my health advice from the longest lived people on the planet. Those people who are consistently living long and healthy lives. Do you really think these people are worried and fret about the ratio of proteins and carbs that they are eating, or whether they are adding black pepper with turmeric to try and increase the absorption of turmeric's beneficial compounds? Absolutely not. They eat a range of whole foods, they do the best they can, and they are certainly not bothered about listening to much of the nonsense that is said online. My second mistake is that I overestimated the importance of nutrition where my health was concerned. Yes, nutrition is important for sure, but we know from the longest lived people in the world that it's just one piece of the jigsaw. So for example, the longest lived people in the world typically have purpose in their lives. The Okinawans call it Ikigai, and the Nikoyans call it Plan de Vida. And these broadly translate into why I wake up in the morning. And knowing your why and having a sense of purpose can be worth up to 7 years of extra life expectancy. Another example is having the right tribe in your life. Again, the longest lived people in the world manage stress very well, and they avoid negative, toxic people in their lives. They surround themselves with like-minded people. So you will generally mirror the people in your life. Smoking, obesity, happiness, and even loneliness are contagious. I urge you to look up the behaviours of people in the blue zones. Nutrition is a big piece of the jigsaw for sure, but there are all of these other pieces that are equally, if not more important, to living a long and healthy life. And for me, I saw the biggest improvement to my health when I started to factor in all of these other pieces. My third mistake is that I tried making my diet perfect. If it wasn't organic, I wouldn't eat it. If it wasn't a whole food, I wouldn't eat it. I was always chasing this elusive health and nutrition perfection. Now, don't get me wrong, the vast majority of my diet is whole foods, but for me, I love the 80% rule. I try to eat until I'm 80% full, and then I stop. I try and ensure around 80% of the foods coming into my diet are from whole foods, and then I allow myself the occasional treat here and there. I also try and get 80% of my calories earlier in the day if I can, to help my body repair and build while I'm sleeping. As the saying goes, eat like a king for breakfast, a prince for lunch, and a pauper for your evening meal. Essentially what I'm getting at here is that it's good to have rules and guidelines in place to keep you on the right path with your diet, but we have become so fearful of everything where food is concerned. There is so much anxiety surrounding food, and this is good for nobody. Do the best you can with what you have and enjoy your food, and that is all you can do. My fourth mistake is that I underestimated the importance of iodine in my diet. When you go vegan, all you hear is B12, iron, and so on. But you often don't hear iodine dropped in this conversation. So when I went vegan, I followed the common advice, and my energy, metabolism, and gut health were not great, despite doing all of the things correctly. So iodine plays a critical role in regulating many of the body's essential functions through its involvement in thyroid hormone production. Thyroid hormones influence various bodily processes, including metabolism, heart function, muscle control, brain development, gut function, and bone maintenance. Now, this can all sound a bit yawn, but if you want to see your kids and grandchildren grow up, and you want to stack the cards in your favour and avoid many of the leading diseases, then iodine has to be part of your strategy. The recommended intake for men and women is fairly low at 150 micrograms, so you really don't need much of it compared to other nutrients. And there are many foods that contain reasonable sources of iodine. 2.5 medium baked potatoes would hit your RDA. 1 cup of cranberries will provide approximately 2.5 times your RDA. And 1 cup of cooked navy beans contains approximately half of your RDA. Even strawberries and prunes contain reasonable amounts. But the obvious choices to ensure you hit your RDAs is either seaweed, supplementation, or iodized salt. My choices here would always be seaweed and then iodized salt, and then supplementation as a last resort. But the most important thing is to get a regular source into your diet. 1 gram of kelp provides between 200 and 2000 micrograms. 1 sheet of nori contains approximately 16 to 43 micrograms. And iodized salt, 1 teaspoon contains approximately 250 micrograms. Whatever route you go, don't overlook iodine in your diet. My 5th mistake was not drinking enough water. This was a problem for much of my life, and even when I initially went vegan. And again, I quickly paid the price with worsening digestion. A common mistake many people make, including those on a vegan diet, is not drinking enough water. Proper hydration is essential for overall health, as water plays a crucial role in numerous bodily functions. It aids in digestion, nutrient absorption, temperature regulation, and toxin elimination. When transitioning to a vegan diet, which often includes higher fibre intake from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, adequate water consumption becomes even more important to help prevent digestive issues such as bloating and constipation. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, and impaired cognitive function, negatively affecting daily performance and well-being. To avoid this mistake, aim to drink at least 8 cups or 2 litres of water daily, adjusting for factors like physical activity and climate. Staying well hydrated supports optimal health, and it enhances the benefits of a vegan diet. My 6th mistake was believing a lot of what I watched and what I read. When I first got into nutrition, I can't tell you how many times that I watched something or read something and I thought this sounded plausible, so it must be right. And this was because I hadn't developed my BS radar. And I was caught out a number of times when I had some health issues, and I lost a lot of money listening to people who I thought were giving me advice to help me, but it turned out that they were more interested in lining their pockets. It's crucial to take nothing at face value, especially in the age of information overload. Just because something sounds convincing, it doesn't mean it's scientifically valid or beneficial. Always do your research and verify the credibility of sources. Look for evidence-based information from reputable institutions and peer-reviewed studies. Critical thinking and skepticism are essential tools in navigating the vast amount of nutritional advice available. And by thoroughly researching and cross-referencing information, you can make informed decisions that truly benefit your health. Developing this habit will empower you to discern between mere opinions and well-supported facts, ensuring that your dietary choices are based on reliable, accurate information. And if you want me to do a video on how you can interpret studies or any health information quickly, then let me know in the comments below. My final mistake is that I wish I'd gone vegan sooner. Now, this is just me, and this is based on my family's health history and losing both parents and a sister to chronic diseases. Also, the environmental and ethical elements, while they were less important for me initially, they quickly grew as I educated myself more. That being said, I'm a realist, and as much as I would love the world to go vegan, it is never going to happen. Well, certainly not in my lifetime anyway. And you don't have to be vegan to be healthy. I think this is where vegans are muddying the water with their messaging and why veganism isn't really growing. If we could get most of the people on the planet eating plant-based around 70% of the time or more, then for people's health, the environment, and for the animals, we would all be in a much better place. Anyhow, that's the end of today's video, and if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this one up here because I'm sure you'll find it equally interesting. And the only other thing that's left for me to say is to remember to look after your body because it's the only place you have to live. And I'll see you next time.